Welcome, Watchers of Illusion, to my Castle of Confusion. It's the 14th of February, so happy Valentine's Day. And it's Altered Beast on the ZX Spectrum. Yes, I thought I'd have a look at this Sega classic. It got ported to quite a lot of systems, actually, namely the Mega Drive or Genesis, if you're from across the pond. But yes, it was converted to the Master System. I think the C64, Spectrum and Amstrad all had versions of this game. Now we're going to have a look at the Spectrum version today, because it's Spectrum Week, as it's the 35th anniversary of the humble little ZX Spectrum. So, looking at this game initially, graphics are nice big sprites on the screen. Very, very slow sort of scrolling, it's a bit chuggy, but look at how much is going on the screen. It's, you know, there's quite a lot going on graphically. Look at the backgrounds. There's quite a lot there, different colours as well. We've got the statue there, looks like some sort of, I think it's supposed to be a wolf, but it looks more like a boar. But you've got all the grass, you've got the stone wall, you've got the bushes and all that at the top. The sprites actually are very reminiscent of the original, which is absolutely brilliant to see, quite honestly. The only thing that's going to really let this down is going to be the horrible scrolling. It's just so jerky, it's not even fun. But the game itself, I can't really knock it too much, because look at it. They've done a fantastic job, really have. For those of you who're not familiar with Altered Beast, those white walls that you can see on the bottom there, when you hit them, you get an orb. Once you've got 3 orbs, you transform into a creature. Now, I think the first level is a werewolf, so we'll see if we can get those. They do seem to be quite hard to hit, though, which is weird. There's a blue wolf there. They give you fireballs, I think, or something. Not that you can use them immediately, you have to wait till your werewolf form. But yeah, they're quite hard to hit, strangely. But I love the presentation. I think that's really good. You've got the player boxes down in the bottom. It is 2 players. I'm not sure if it was simultaneous play on the Spectrum version, though. I've got a feeling it was turn-based. But if anyone knows the answer to that, please feel free to let me know in the comments. You know, this is one of these rare arcade games that actually turned out to be okay. I wouldn't say brilliant, but it's okay. You know, they've really tried to pack in the entire game into a tape, which is quite impressive. If you think about the Spectrum, I think this is the 128K version, because it's got the iconic theme music running through the level as well, which is absolutely fantastic. In fact, let me just button my lips so you can hear the music for a minute. So there you have it. Brilliant use of the AY chip there. So really good. And look at that guy at the bottom. Just someone's really annoyed him. Obviously his Valentine isn't coming round to see him later. Anyway, you can see here it's absolutely brilliant. The sprites are literally spot on. The only thing it doesn't do is when you get your when you get the orbs on the arcade version, your guy kind of beefs up until he's ridiculously muscly, and then he'll turn into the creature after that. But that's really neither here nor there. You know, the fact is that everything else is in the game and it's present and correct. Now you can see there that I've got you can see the health bars are at the bottom in the bottom display there. You can see the little little pills. Those are your little power dots. So once you run out of those, you lose a life. So there you have it. I think the blue wolves actually replenish those. I'm not sure if that's right, but they do. And the zombies do explode if you touch them, like without kicking them. There you go, there's another orb, and my portrait is now blue to indicate that I've now picked up another one. So instead of actually hulking out like they do on the arcade, they're actually showing you in the portrait colour what's actually happening with your character, which I think is really quite nice, actually. It's kind of a nice representation. I'm not sure if any of the home computers actually had the sort of the Hulk out graphic when you've got all of your wolf orbs, but it's still a nice way to show. You can see player 2's portrait in the bottom right hand corner, which makes me suspect it might actually have been 2-player cooperative, but again, not sure, not 100% sure. It's hard to test that when there's only one of you sitting here, but never mind. Thank you, by the way, for anyone that tuned into my live stream last night on Facebook. I was just testing it to make sure I get everything right, and in the end we did get there. We did get there in the end, so, you know, massive thanks to all the help I received from that. So thank you so much. It was good fun in the end as well. So yeah, it was. We were having a bit of a laugh. It took about an hour before we actually got where we needed to be, but we did get there in the end. So that was a lot of fun. So. My thanks to Phil Croxford for tuning in and helping me out. Without your assistance, I would have been none the wiser. So yes, we're all ready to go live streaming on both Facebook and hopefully YouTube eventually. So that's going to be good fun. I will, if you guys sign up to my Facebook page, you will find out beforehand when I'm going to do them as well. So there we go. But yes, Altered Beast, and now I am turned into a werewolf. Look at that. A fireball throwing werewolf who can also turn into a big ball of flame. Now it's strange because you've got to hold the fire button and push in the opposite direction to be able to fly forwards, which is a bit of a strange mechanic. But the sort of the theory behind it is that when you go into your animal form, you're a lot stronger, a lot more powerful. But I mean, the only thing I can really see here that's beneficial is the fact that your wolf can hit things from a distance, and that's only really the only thing that I can see that's different here. Like these big blue guys, by the way, they hit substantially harder than the standard shamblers, so if you want to take those out as quickly as possible, so having these fireballs at range is pretty good fun. Now so far it's been fairly, you know, faithful to the arcade. I mean, they've squeezed a lot into this, they really have. I mean, to be fair, the only thing I'm really going to be griping on is this sort of jerky scrolling. It could have been a touch smoother, but you know, there's a lot going on, so I can't. It's difficult, but it's going to have to lose points for that, unfortunately, guys and girls. But look at this. This is the end boss from the arcade. It's absolutely fantastic. I mean, it's the same thing. Absolutely amazing. I mean, that is one big sprite, to be fair. And he's throwing his heads with great gusto. He's actually quite hard on the Spectrum because it's difficult to sort of chump your way out of the way because it's not very smooth, and they don't give you a lot of screen room to manoeuvre, which is a bit of a problem. So you can see here, there's no way I can stop myself getting obliterated by those heads. But I have to say, I'm really impressed with the music. That is a massive plus for me, because it is the Altered Beast theme tune, which is great. I would like to try and get you onto level 2 so we can have a look at the dragon as well. So we'll get this boss out of the way, and I'll do a little bit of play through the next level as well, so you can see the differences as we go through. That it's not just the same stuff over and over again, which is really good. And see how much of the arcade they've actually squeezed in. If I remember rightly, I think this was a multi-loader, but I can't remember if it was a multi-loader if you had a 128. But yeah, this was a multiple level loading game. So here we go, stage 2 in the swamps, and those big... Oh, those things can fall on your head, by the way. It's quite amusing when that happens, because they just land on your head like a big, ugly hat. But yeah, oh, there we go. I had one land on my head. Now, the way that I found to get those wolves pretty much straight away is to run up to them and kick them before they get a chance to jump. And that's probably the best way. Those rattlesnake tails are those sort of dragons, which they look a bit like the thing from Saint Dragon. I don't know if everyone played that. They do look very similar to that. But this is good fun. The game's absolutely very, very good. It's literally just let down by this shoddy scrolling, which is a shame. They could have maybe just taken a few of the background elements away. It might have been a bit smoother. So there we have it. Anyway, guys and girls, I'm hopefully going to be turning into a dragon shortly, so you can have a look at that, and then I'm going to sign off and decide what I'm going to play for tomorrow. It's one of those Spectrum weeks this week, so it's a review every day, which is unusual because normally I only do 3 a week, but when it comes to a special week, I always do 5. So there you go. I'm spoiling you. And there you go, the dragon. It's in all its glory, absolutely brilliant. So there we go. Anyway, guys and girls, that's it from me. I'll catch you on the next review. Thanks ever so much for tuning in. Remember to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy my content. And I will catch you in the next video. Bye for now!